And that's exactly what Blue Lantern wants to achieve. Towards a wave of excitement into the brow bone, continue filming the next plot. The evil queen sends troops to hunt down the princess. Then he was rescued by the orc prince. But now we have a problem. There were only 4 of them. The scenario of the pursuit cannot be ruled out, even if you take advantage of Low Goblin and Tauren in the dungeon. Can't achieve the desired effect, because those guys walk in a very peculiar way. You can turn it into a horror movie. Luckily, Langdon had an idea. Don't they have it ready-made? At the same time, somewhere in the forest, the adventurer who originally slashed at the orcs of Oak just reacted. They are no longer in the dungeon. The brace twice makes it impossible to collapse. Start explaining to the crowd. Attack the orcs every time. The teleportation array will be triggered, and that shocked them. How can you teleport so many people in one go? You can't even do great things. But just then, a hurried word came and Lord Melissa was gone. For the evil king, open your eyes. Last time it was the princess. This time it's Lord Melissa. We can't afford to put it off. Then he led the crowd to the direction of the dungeon. But what they didn't expect was 3 pairs of eyes were staring at them in the grass. The elf princess can't control herself when she sees the orcs. Even actively exercise. But instead, when I see a human, I can't stop vomiting at the mouth. Just because the blue lights came up with a plan, with the help of adventurers, let's have a real chase scene. Let the elf princess disappear first and blend into the front of the crowd. Then cast illusions. Make them think it's a green-skinned orc. In order to be saved by an orc hero. Time is running out. Random path. And you only get 1 shot. The army didn't go long. The sharp female elf suddenly noticed something. But take a closer look. Eyes widened in an instant because she saw the fairy princess. And the elf princess at this moment stayed where she was, waiting for orders. Suppressed and will be saved by Mr. Orc later. The maneuver is at this moment. Melissa unleashed an illusion. Blinking kung fu. The fairy princess becomes an orc. The next second, turn around and run on the spot. Elf Light thought she was trying to save the princess. Too eager to read wrong. Anxious, she immediately fired an arrow. But unexpectedly, the other party is so strong. Since the body is so flexible, dodge on the spot. And then, in a fit of rage, he shoots again. But the other party is still in the snakeskin position. Swim nimbly in the sword rain. And this scene can't help but make the blue light climb the tree. True is wonderful. But it's you. When the elves are ready to outflank and siege with their teammates, a big tree in front suddenly fell. Block their pursuit. And it occurred to them immediately that there must be other orcs out there. The more he thought about it, the angrier he became. I didn't expect so many people to survive in this area. Must report to the kingdom immediately. Destroy all the plants, trees, flowers, and bullets here. The other side at the moment, according to the script, orcs step forward. Rescue the princess despite the danger. Running all the way back to the dungeon. The princess looked around. Obviously, only a crude orc on the outside. Living in such a beautiful room. Discrimination against each other is your own lifesaver. But the heart is still vigilant. The simple and honest orc looked at the shy and lovely princess on the bed. A little embarrassed. Expressed that you don't like this kind of thing. That's why I shot. Then followed the original plot. The princess should be very frightened. But she sentenced herself to another sentence. I really can't repay it. I can only promise you. He was really not afraid of Mr. Orc. Stroking big muscles. Shenqing charming, shy. Doesn't Mr. Orc want me to marry him? Fandang faced such discomfort. Can't hold it at all. If you continue to shoot, I'm afraid it will be banned. Just don't come out. The good thing is it's tricky. Melissa figured out a way. Use the illusion to transform the Blue Lantern into a handsome human prince. A crisp snap of fingers came. Blonde hair. Gorgeous human figure. Appeared in the public eye. Only the elf princess looked disgusted. Very speechless. The heart is constantly deceiving itself. Don't be fooled by his disgusting appearance. He's still Mr. Orc. Mr. Dragon. But in the end, physiology still defeated him. Rainbow nowhere. But just as Melissa was complacent, instantly noticed something. The tone is a little hurried. Mr. Dragon, something is going on outside. Becoming a magician is convenient. Can perform and change equipment anytime, anywhere. It's almost impossible. Just let me bear all the pain. And before that, Melissa noticed something strange. But fortunately, she used an illusion to hide the entrance to the dungeon. At the same time, Above Ground Adventures are holding a marathon. They've been running back and forth for hours, but still can't find the way to the dungeon. Firm eyes with elves. The elves are natural waiters. Absolutely impossible to get lost, but someone immediately denied it, because there are several sites along the way. I've seen it several times. This sentence also made the elf begin to shake. He has long realized, so I decided to try again one last time. Fortunately, hard work pays off. They finally came out. But not a dungeon. It's a rural area. Kindly discussed with the villagers and learned that this is the city of Sidam. They went completely in the wrong direction. The other side, the knight played by apprentice April holds his sword aloft. Lead the troops to surround the Green Oak orcs. The elf princess hid behind her with a rosy face. The next second, they swarm. But just then, orcs become humans on the spot. After a hard battle for the prince, eventually destroy all the enemies. And the prince fell into the arms of the princess due to the witch's curse. Should have been sad. But the elf princess almost couldn't hold back. I have to endure it again and shoot again. At the last moment of life, the prince's wish is to dance. It's like they don't know each other. The atmosphere is very delicate. Embrace and dance on a lit stage. So far, the performance has ended perfectly. And that's much faster than Blue Lantern had expected. Just as she pushed the elf princess away, but was held by both hands. So the shoot is done, right? Then, according to the agreement, here we go. You can always capture the experience of Mr. Dragon. The next second, a crisp snap of fingers came. Melissa is transformed. The syringe nurse uniform is ready. It's not exactly sickness. If this goes on, the number will be gone. So the Blue Lantern Alliance says, their agreement, but it won't be done until it's released in theaters. Now only the first step has been completed. Later, it will also be divided into machine positions, edited and spliced later, etc. So I asked Ahu to help make the film. But just then, Melissa posed a fatal question. There's not a proper theater in Purong. They're working so hard, there's nowhere to show it. What can be done? Just then, Akur refused to complain. I might be able to help. In an instant, it was like being locked by two beasts. Stay put and shiver. Since someone is broadcasting in the theater, this kind of picture is absolutely touching. Just because there's no place for a good action movie to be shown. But just when everyone was at a loss, time. Akur says he runs the bureau from home. Although relatively deserted, but it's better than nothing. So that's it. Under the random leadership of Akur. After almost half a circle, we finally reached the ORCS bureau. Just by pasting a performance on the wall for half a month. Enough to show it all. But now, they had no choice. Knocking on the door. But soon after, there were complaints in the bush. I've said it several times. We will not sell this theater. Just as he finished speaking, he turned around and left. But I saw the buckle in it. The two sisters hugged each other excitedly. Then he began to introduce the legends behind him one by one. When I learned that it was not the acquirer, the woman introduced herself in apology. My name is Emilios, currently running this bureau. And the blue light that just entered the door can't wait to get straight to the topic. I'm here to talk about partnerships. I'm sure everyone knows what's going on in this theater. But here I am, with the waves of the new era, bring this theater back to life. It will definitely subvert your cognition. But just then, two figures walked in outside the door. Come in and point and take such a good position. It's still so deserted. It's better to change to pig farming. This gentleman, I advise you to behave yourself. Here, the giant trees are dead. It's all corny stuff. Only our famous Redmond Theater. To save this. But just as Emily was about to blast them away, the blue lantern stood out, and it was indeed lifeless here. It's corny, but it's not just about this. But in saying, all theaters are old stuff. You will all be eliminated. These words immediately sent Redmond into cardiac arrest. Run to the best hospital in town. Just as Emily expressed her gratitude. But was blue. I'm not helping you get ahead when the lights break on the spot. That's the truth. Let's welcome the new era together. elves and orcs. Innocent fairy princess. But what nobody expected was, it started off really hot. See, people want to buy spray stamps? These are indescribable pictures. The blue light ascended to the sky on the spot. I actually forgot to cut this part off, but still can't help complaining. Emily watched with relish. A blushing bubble teapot. Shouldn't it be better? But Emily, who was already fascinated, didn't hear it at all. Watching the ups and downs of the plot. Ultimately miserable ending. It made him cry. Although it is admitted to be a masterpiece. But today's theaters can't even open their doors. Not to mention the cost of hiring. Langdon says he doesn't care about money. Not interested in money. All he cares about is, how many people can watch this movie?